I'm Ashley Cogovan, and this is my informational speech on veterinary technicians. These are my guests. Well, 10 of them. You have to show yourself too. Alright. Veterinary technicians. According to dictionary.com, a veterinary technician is someone who has graduated from the veterinary technology program and assists veterinarians in all technological aspects of patient care. If you ask an actual vet tech, though, they'll probably laugh and tell you something along the lines of, we're the ones who get handed all the dirty work, and they'll probably ask you if you'd like a list of all the things that we have to do. Veterinary technicians, or vet techs for short, we are dental hygienists, we are surgical technicians, dental hair technicians, radiology technicians, pharmacy technicians, nurses, anesthesiologists, and the list can go on and on. It's not uncommon for us to be asked exactly what we do. Since the list is so long, it's easier to just say that there are 4 things that we cannot do, and that is prescribe, prognose, diagnose, and perform surgery. Everything else is fair game. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics in 2012, there were 84,800 jobs for graduates with a veterinary technology degree. A vet tech degree can open up many job opportunities that most people have no idea about. For instance, the Army. Someone has to be there to take care of all those bomb-sniffing dogs. You don't think about it right away, but where there's a vet, there's a tech. So, when it comes to dogs in the armed forces, the majority of our work is on the battlefield. According to GoArmy.com, you still have to take some sort of basic training in order to be ready for whatever is thrown at you out on the battlefield. Since a lot of work is out on the battlefield, a lot of what we do is remove shrapnel, prevent infection or take care of any infection that has already happened, clean up wounds, and stitch, suture, staple, or bandage up anything that has to wait to be taken somewhere else to be taken care of. I'm stuttering. There are also many traveling opportunities that vet techs have. One traveling opportunity comes along with being a drug representative. Drug reps are responsible for going to many different places, such as vet clinics, schools, seminars, and more, to talk about the drugs, flea and tick representatives, and much more that their company represents. It helps put their product on the shelves and get some feedback on what clients, techs, and veterinarians are looking for their pharmacies. Now, you may ask, why can't anyone just go look up some information on a drug or something and go represent it for their company? Well, they could, but with a veterinary technology degree, it enables you to have the knowledge to tell the clinic about how to give the drug, where to give the drug anatomy-wise, what side effects the drug can have, and easily answer any questions that the vets and technicians may have that just a random person off the street would not know. Drug reps travel anywhere their company wants to send them. It could be the next town over, or it could be across the country. The possibilities are endless. And of course, the zoo. Because let's face it, who's never dreamed of working at the zoo? Another thing about being a vet tech is you don't need to know everything about one animal. You need to know everything about every animal that you could encounter and where you work. This includes their normal behavior, normal anatomic structure, normal body functions like their temp, respiratory, and blood pressure, common problems associated with that animal and types of breeds with that animal, and much more. And of course, working with exotics and wild animals, the pressure is on tenfold because you don't know how dangerous they can be. You need to be able to come up with how you're going to proceed with that exact problem in the animals, because sometimes there's only seconds to spare before an animal could crash, depending on the severity of the problem. And obviously with wilds and exotics, that can be even more dangerous. And of course, you can find your normal vet techs in a veterinary clinic. According to Indeed.com, the average veterinary technician's salary is $29,000. Again, labor of love, which of course varies depending on what their clinic has to offer. Every veterinary clinic is different in terms of what they have to offer for their clients. Some have groomers, some have boarding, obedience training, dentistry, surgery, and much more. As a technician, you have the opportunity to take certain classes and extra training in school to specialize as a certain aspect of veterinary technology. For example, you can specialize in animal behavior, dentistry, radiology, pharmaceutical drugs, and more. In a clinic, these kinds of techs can make where you work much better than the one down the street that could have the same things, but the person doing them might not have as much knowledge or be as up to date as the one in your clinic. And of course, this will attract more clients to your clinic, and more clients means a better paying job. Techs in clinics are responsible for talking to the clients, which includes setting up appointments, answering questions, getting info for the doctor, explaining estimates for surgeries, sending home surgeries, and talking about types of medications. We are also in charge of drawing blood and running all the different blood tests in our lab, and also in charge for sending out the different blood tests that cannot be done in our lab but can be performed in other labs. We are in charge of collecting urine, be that through cystocentesis, pronounced that wrong, or with the cup under the animal's body as you take it outside to go pee. We are also in charge of collecting fecals and running them, prepping animals for surgery and monitoring them during surgery, also with assisting the vet in whatever they need during surgery, as they are sterile and cannot touch everything. We are in charge of doing dentals, anesthetizing animals, and restraining for doctors. And of course, all the fun stuff, like when a dog pulls out his IV line, or a cat has mats full of poop on their behinds, and picking up all the fleas and ticks that owners refuse to believe their animals have. We're strong both mentally and physically. We're strong mentally because to be a tech, you need to be jaded to a certain point. It's not always cute puppies and kittens that walk through the door. The majority of the time, it's animals in really bad condition, like a 14-year-old dog with a splenic tumor, or a 7-year-old cat with bad hyperthyroidism, that they're so emaciated, and the best thing is to be euthanized. There comes a point where, although you feel sympathy for the animal, you are able to block out the sadness you feel in order to help the poor critter sitting in front of you feel as less pain as possible. And this usually can often mean euthanasia. And then we're strong in the physical way. It never fails that at least once during the day you get a crazy lab or a giant Great Dane coming through the door that you have no other choice but to literally sit on them to keep them still for the vet. That's one thing they'll never teach you in school, that you need to be a professional wrestler to work in this job. This is only a slim view of the jobs a vet tech in a clinic environment encounters on a daily basis. Veterinary technology is considered one of the hardest majors out there. Not only do you need to learn about every type of animal you would encounter, but you also need to learn everything about their health and how to care for them as well. Depending on what branch you take off of being a vet tech, it's probably not going to be something that you do for money, as I've mentioned already. It's definitely a job that you need to love and enjoy, and not just go into for the hell of it. It's a job that involves you to be quick on your feet, whether it's to think of what to give the animal that's crashing on the table, or to grab that cat that just squirmed out of your arms and is now racing across the clinic. There's such a broad range of where a vet tech degree can take you, but I hope I've opened your eyes to just how much we're capable of doing, and increased your appreciation for all the work, time, and love your techs put into taking care of your furry little friends. And here is my lovely audience again.